Hello everyone and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobby and I will be your guide for today. So today I am going to do a channeling tarot reading about the rest of the year. And then how I'm going to do it is I'm going to break it up into two. So I'm going to break, the first one would be, the first reading, is going to be more to do with the overall of humanity's consciousness and what's happening before the end of the year. And then the next part of it will be those that are watching and what's coming for them. So that's how I'm going to break it up. I am an intuitive counselor and a reader. If you want to book me one-on-one, it's down, the link is down below. I also have a school and Patreon called AMAKEL. That link is down below as well. It's all telepathic games and so forth. I'll be going live more often on that for the silver tiers. And we'll do some games together and stuff over that. I also have another channel called Codes to a New Reality. It's brand new and it's starting to take off, which is really cool. It's a lot of hidden codes. Now, the interesting thing with that is yesterday I started to get these downloads about hidden codes to the wind, the hidden codes of the wind. And I haven't done any like elements or anything yet. There's all sorts of different hidden codes on there, from Isis, hidden codes, the Ark of the Covenant, hidden codes for the time of time, all sorts of things on there at the moment. I mean, it's brand new, so there's only about 10 videos, but I started getting these downloads of the hidden codes of the wind. And then as I was sitting here and I was just tuning into the rest of the year, and they were bringing up tornadoes, and they were saying the tornadoes are representing, or coming onto Earth representing, it's not a clash, but I'm trying to find a word, that an integration or a pulling in or a sucking in of our etheric world, grounding on this world. And they brought me to a story that the elder told me when I was working with her, Cherokee elder, and she was saying that her and a group of people went out to the desert, and she already had a message to say that Melchizedek was coming in a tornado, and that she was going to talk to him. And if they stayed calm, then they could, watch this. But when the tornado started to come in, everybody got a fright. I mean, the reality of it frightened them, and they started to pull away. And so no one really saw her as she stood her ground and was able to speak to this entity. So there's something to do with these, and that before the end of the year, there might be some tornadoes coming in, maybe in random places. I'm not sure whether it actually takes out some of this. It's a shift for them to come in. They have to shift the energy around this reality to clear it, so that there is new land or new awareness or something. And this is I think this is just going to start. It's an interesting concept that they're showing me, but it's clearing the energy for humanity to restart again, and it's within their own self as well, because as they whip in, as these higher dimensional beings or other frequencies and other dimensions start to whip in or come in or ground down into into our reality, they're going to they change the frequency of the air, and then we breathe it in, and it kind of helps awaken us as well. So I know that's pretty obscure, but that's what I was being shown. Hey Debbie, hey Horsehaven. But we will do the tarot as well. So we're starting off just with humanity's consciousness and till the end of the year, what's happening, the overall picture of humanity. Let's tune into that, because it is an energy, a one energy in the end, even though we're all got our own separate lives and unique paths and all of that sort of stuff. There is one. It's funny because only one card has fallen out, and it's the Five of Wands in reverse. Just let me get some more information about this. Challenge. I'm getting the word a challenge. It can be challenging for some, and others invigorating or illuminating. So we have the Ace of Swords as well. Those that have now got control of their mind, it's going to be invigorating, illuminating. The power of themselves is going to be more in awareness. Those that are holding on are to the old way of thinking, the old program, the old patterns. I think there's going to be challenges ahead. That totally makes sense. But so yeah, it's going to. But it's like there's a meetup of this through one's awareness and coming and being open to their center of themselves and awareness of their mind, and being able to create the reality that they desire, coming from non-judgmental acceptance, 0 point, is going to end up turning this fight on its head, which is the others that are still in the program. So there's a shift, a collaboration or a shift or a meetup of that was shifting. So I'm seeing, if we're going to ground this message, I'm actually seeing that there's going to be a few disasters happening, because they're showing me also Avatar, where Gaia, Mother Earth, decided to join in on she did end up moving her energy into helping keep the peace in Avatar, and so she whirled up the animals and so forth to go against those that were trying to infiltrate her. That not her, was actually another planet, but I'm just putting Gaia in that place. So there's that feeling at the moment of these that are awakening are also having more connection and to Earth herself. And I know I just did a lesson on connecting to Earth in my Patreon school. So there was something to do with connecting back to Earth, and then she's choosing sides. She's pushing her frequency of the outcome that she is moving towards for the whole of humanity's consciousness. So if we break it down to our own thought pattern, so one person's thought pattern, then there's a person that's deciding they're going to fixate more on the positive side of things, and they're not going to take the shit anymore, like the negative Nelly, monkey mind, stressed out stuff that's going on in their head, and they say no to that. Then they're already in flow with the manifesting the more positive outcome. But to do that, you have to do the shadow work. You have to go into the depths. So that's where the whirlwinds are coming up. So we're literally grounding this. It's becoming a macro. The micro that we've been doing the inner work is becoming the macro. So we're going to start to see that come into play for the end of the year. Yeah. Then we have justice. So that totally makes sense as well. I just realized I forgot to put this up on Facebook, that I was like, never mind, because I have some people that come from there. That's all right. Yeah, so anyway, justice is coming in, and that is the as that's literally the source energy, God within us, universe within us, deciding on what to keep and what not to keep, and how to move forward, how to find balance within oneself as well, because he's like got the scale here. So there's, and I'm also seeing these storms. See the storm behind him. So even though he's holding justice up, and he's like, this is this is where we need to go. This is humanity's this is the plan. This is the long road. Are showing me like, this is the long road. This is the long journey that humanity's taken. It's now come to the point of finding this balance within, and finding justice for all. We look at ourselves, and we choose which path we actually want to take. But it's a long journey or a long haul. Whether you want to keep on moving on that or not, it means that your soul, if you want to hold on to the old programs, then your soul will probably be born into something else, as humanity is expanding. There's something to do with that. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit in depth here, but let's ground this. I want to ground this so that there's tangible evidence of what I'm speaking about. There's uproars, but there's not. It's all. They show me uproars around different countries, but then it kind of pieces out. It's like it's not. It's almost like the opposite of those that are trying to keep control over different countries and different things. Every time they try to push, it reawakens people. Then there's the uproars, but this side that is pushing never really gains any ground anyway, and this side that is reacting never really gains any ground either. It's like it peters out. They both peter out, and it's because there's an inside job that's happening. So even if things happen towards the end of the year, in other words, through other countries and that, there's too much light or people holding new frequencies for new realities to come forward that will it's not overshadow, it's overlight, or send their light out to, or new imaginings or new ways of creating things, and it's going to just nullify some of the stuff. So I personally wouldn't attach myself to anything at the moment, because whoever's going into that is needing to have a lesson. And so with you constantly watching something like that, you're part of that. So be aware of uprising, trying to stand their ground, but doing it in a fighty way. Then you see it's turned on its head. It's definitely nullified. It's like we've got this whole justified. It's turned on its head. The light comes in with the Ace of Swords. The mind, people who now have control of their mind are turning this on its head, and so it's nullified by justice, by balance. So I don't feel like but I do sense that there's going to be some places where the wind comes in and it needs to clear out the old energies, and so people's homes might be taken with it or something like that. So yeah, I'm getting that. But see where we're going? We're going to the Nine of Cups, wishes coming true and that sort of thing. So on the other side of the scale of things or trauma that's happening, we have these others that are doing this beautiful work, and they are going to find, oh my God, my wishes are all coming true. Everything that I put in my vortex that I wanted to come true are starting to manifest in the here and now. I am in alignment with it in a grounded way. So that's happening as well. And a lot of this is going on. They're showing me it's not going to be bling bling in front of everyone on a TV station or something. It's something that you will either align with in social media, and so you start to get those coming through. You start to see an alignment of where you're going to your social media as well. So those that are, even though it's random and it's AI or it's whatever, or it doesn't matter. It's like your alignment is bringing in where you're going. So be aware of that too. If you have a lot of negative posts coming your way, then just look inside yourself and see what your mind's doing and whether you can shift your mind, not worry about that, but shift your mind and then watch the next time you go on, whether it's more positive. See where you're actually, what you're asking about. Sometimes I get too serious and I get a lot of serious posts, and they're all great. I really like them. But then I'm like, I need something funny. And then the next minute I start to get these funny posts. And I love that, because it's like my wish is my command kind of thing. Your wish is your command. You are the guide of your destiny as you move through this. So by the end of the year, you're going to have these wishes coming true. So humanity's consciousness is going through this development stage. It's showing me like a newness of understanding the creativity of humanity and how valuable that is. So by the end of the year, we're going to have, and I have said this before, a lot of businesses popping up that are really a lot more easygoing and a lot just fun for other people to experience and that sort of thing. Hey, Sky, good to see you. Yeah. Okay, I'll just see what else comes up in the story. Yeah, Tree of Life. So there's this kind of, they're showing me like jumps that we're making. And they're showing me, I don't know what these mean. I don't know what the Tree of Life means. I haven't gone into that sort of stuff enough to understand what this all means. But I do know that each one of these represents a different part. Like this might be your shadow self, and then you come this, that sort of thing. So you're facing off with your shadow self, and then you're facing off with how do I create something new, and that sort of stuff, or working with your mind, or changes that you have to learn to handle changes a lot. I know at the moment my team's wanting me to settle into learning to be able to handle changes, a lot of changes. And so they've whipped everything away from me so I can make all these jumps into different house sitting positions. And I have to settle myself into being able to handle changes, because change will always constantly happen. And we're going through this quickening. And so it's going to get to the point where we just change, shift, 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 shift. So they're showing me this sort of thing, as in the Tree of Life, a feeling that humanity's consciousness is, even though we are at different places on this, it's like an awareness of the whole. So there's going to be those that are awakening now till the end of the year, maybe the light workers or something, that are actually going to be more aware of the whole, and then there's no judgment on whether you're on this side of the coin or this side of the coin. It's definitely growing though, because I see it being also a collectives coming together as well. Just till the end of the year though, in a grounded way, what's going to happen? I keep going into this etheric understanding because that's what my head does, but I really want to ground this as well. And a physical how's that physically going to manifest? So groups coming together to form businesses. So on the whole, it's also going to be a shift in they're showing me like councils and stuff, and usually councils are very regimental in the way that they do things, and they have their rules and they're very strict with them. And there's going to be like people in those positions that are finally starting to wake up, and they're like, we need leniency on this as well. So then the weird thing will be that they're going to be lenient on the ones that are more to do with the light workers, and not so lenient on the ones that are still needing the lessons. So that's, yeah, one thing, one grounded thing that's coming through. We have the Three of Swords and we have the Five of Coins. And the Five of Coins is feeling a victim, and the Three of Swords is heartache. So there could be quite a few that are now just going, you know what, I can't do the relationship. I thought I could keep it going, but I've grown too fast, too far, and it's not working anymore. I can see my partner is not going to shift just yet, or maybe ever in this life. And I need to readjust or realign, and so that, you know, there's heartache with that, and so struggle of saying no more to. So there could be quite a few breakups happening as well. Now, what would that do to society? A lot more of us that are single, and okay, so I see what they're saying. A readjustment to dating sites where it becomes more a tangible thing rather than an online thing. So I believe before the end of the year, they're saying that we might start seeing more like actually going to meet people, like businesses popping up where you are alike, like they take specific topics that people are really into and bring them together. A lot more of those coming out of the woodwork rather than the online dating, which was a very logical based, you know, you saw, oh, they got this, they tick all those logical boxes, but there was no feeling in them because you haven't met them. And then you have to like go meet them and find out, oh, you didn't even have chemistry, that sort of thing. So there's something to do with the us shifting the way that we start to connect again, and there'll be these blossoming of businesses that have better new ways of doing this. They're going to come up with new imaginings that are enticing people in to have more fun when it comes to finding somebody new, or it'll just be random, like you'll just meet that right person randomly, like, and it'll be like, whoa, where did that come from? Like you just say hi to each other in a takeaway bar or something, and next minute you're like having a full-on discussion, and then you find out each other are single, and then you're like, whoa, that just happened. And there's this something like that could happen as well. I'm just feeling there's a shift in the dating scenes and that sort of thing, and it's to do with us realizing, humanity's realizing now, a frequency alignment through feelings is more important than the logical ticking all the boxes of what this person is in an outside way, in a logical way. Yeah. And because of that, we will shift things up again. So I can see that slowly, I don't think it's going to happen really quickly, but I can see it slowly starting to deplete because it's not working as well anymore. The game, the dating game, and all of that online. Okay, so that's one thing I got for humanity's consciousness by the end of the year. I'm just thinking of it as like a world and our fear and the feeling that we have as humanity moves through this. Okay, so we've got worldly affairs and all of that sort of stuff, and there's a lot of us, the split that's happening where some are really going into the depths of still holding on to that program. They're going through the anger, they'll go through the anger stage, they'll go through all of that. So you can sort of see where everybody is just by watching what people are doing. And where they're stuck and where they're not stuck and all of that. And they actually, every time that they make a move through fear, anger, jealousy, trying to control, it stands out so much. It will stand out so much. to those that have done the work, that we really won't, they won't get the attention that they thought that they would get, because yeah, so that's shifting up as well. So I can see a fall in like certain countries, or in parliaments and stuff like that, that just don't get the response that they were looking for when they try to push people more into fear, and then they scramble and they make mistakes, and it's just going to look a little bit icky, but it's just showing them up for who they really are. And they realize when there's not as much energy coming back to them, that's where they have to turn around and look at themselves, because when you don't get the attention that you need, you're only got yourself to blame for, it not working out. For some reason, they keep on bringing up old buildings where there was a fall of an empire, like Rome, and fall of an empire is starting. Fall of an empire, where there's just ruins left, and Earth herself shifting her secret energies to different, like shifting her own. She has portals within herself that has magic within it. Like you can literally stand in specific places on Earth, and you are connected to other dimensions in those places, and they've been held hostage by those in control. And she's showing me that's a definite shift, where the magic is going to be somewhere else, where they can't find it anymore. They can't find the essence, and so it all crumbles where they held that space. So there's definitely something crumbling. Yeah, it's an interesting reading when you get into such a big kind of a story. I am seeing clearer land, or islands popping up, or something, the ocean moving, or something to do with that as well. Where one something to do with where one lay bare will now thrive, where one thrived will now lay bare. Statement like that is coming. Yeah, Hangman just came out. New perspective in that, and shifting alignment. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of a conflict, or in the middle of something, and you are a light worker, then just stand your ground, stay still. It's kind of like they're showing me two barking dogs barking at each other, but no one's going to move, but no one's going to bite either. So you just stand strong in who you are. You would have already done the work to know that your own self-support, so it's like necessary to stay strong in who you are, and you put yourself in that position because you are strong enough to be able to handle the barking or whatever's going on, whether it be turmoil of the tornadoes coming in, or disaster sort of thing, or whether it's actual people fighting and stuff like that. If you're in the middle of any of that and you're a light worker, you just stay strong. You will be looked after. It's only if you get entangled in it that you get lost. So just be aware of that as well. Okay, let's get into for the rest of the year, for those who are going to be watching. I'm going to get these. And for some reason, emotional support is coming up. The word emotional support for those that are watching. You'll get a lot of emotional support. Just when you feel like, oh, frick, I'm over this game, it's like that's where the actual you pop out with I feel free. So be aware of that as you go along to the end of the year. It's sometimes in the pressure that the diamonds are made. And yeah, so you're a hunk of coal, and then you go under some pressure, and your mind is like, "Rrr," and then all of a sudden it's just like, I release. And when that happens, the diamond is left, and you are now feeling a lot better. Before the end of the year, you'll feel a lot better. What else am I getting for those that are watching? Yeah, a shift in. They're showing me the roll of the dice. A roll of the dice, and where it's kind of like a feeling of, for me to be truly authentic, I have to completely let go. When you roll the dice, it falls on a specific number, right? That number is in alignment with your true soul's tribe. And you become that frequency then even more, because it's a frequency alignment with your soul. So you're now starting to ground that number 2 or number 3 or whatever it is. Not to do with numerology. They're just showing that as an example. Like you are coming into understanding your frequency more as you go along before the end of the year, which is then you're gonna recognize other number 2s and other, you know what I mean? You're gonna recognize the same number coming towards you or not. And it's going to make it easier for you to build businesses and all that sort of stuff in the end. So there's going to be, it's kind of like everything was on a slow up. And then when you absolutely know yourself, know thyself, and then you roll, it's not rolling the dice. It's like coming into alignment with your true authentic frequency, which becomes a solidified frequency then on this planet. That is then responding to other people in that frequency. And that's where you take off with your businesses. Rebirth. I just feel that's, I don't know why, but I'm feeling this like a feeling of graduating. But see, we have to let go of controlling everything. This was on the bottom of the pack. And victimization too, which is the next one. These are the things that we're learning to let go of, to be able to rebirth and then celebrate. Sorry, they're just there on the bottom of the deck. Okay, well, we will shuffle now. We did have one flyer, integration. So you're definitely integrating, how to integrate your imagination, being grounded with your logic and all that sort of stuff. You're integrating your heart. You're integrating the etheric messages that you have into a plan to create something new. But is this all going to happen by the end of the year? Is this playing, or is it just, I'm feeling it's starting, but it's starting on like instead of doing a scale like this, it's starting to go like this. It's starting to go, they're showing me that stupid graph of humanity, most of humanity being very poor, and then mediocre poor, and then we have the mega rich, which goes straight off, the graph just goes straight off and it's showing me that in a way of you finding your authentic self. So all of a sudden, when you find your authentic, you really, really know who you are, and you know the essence of yourself, and you really support that in every way everywhere you go. As you walk in the street, whoever you meet, you are becoming that. That's when you become in alignment with many others, and it's like that is the riches, that is your abundance, that is because you have this ability with others to create something completely brand new. Is all this happening before the end of the year? I mean, that's a lot, right? I just wonder. It seems a lot. Like I had somebody that put a message up saying, oh, it's going to happen within 30 years. And it actually gave me No, I don't think so. It's going to happen maybe by 30 years it's all shifted, but it's happening really quick. There's a quickening. They keep saying quickening. So this card says ocean of possibilities. Navigate through your boundless ocean of possibilities where horizons whisper of untold opportunities and plentiful paths. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that for the people that are watching for the end of the year. So that's something that's shifting, and it's can happen literally overnight, where you get it and then boom, you're in that frequency, and then boom, 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 everything starts to go really, really well. And they're saying, and there's the other card that fell out was a worthy goal. Get out and be inspired to keep working towards your life's purpose. So keep going that way. So there's a direction that you're moving, and the fruits will come. They are showing me the end of the year and going into next year, and it's depending on you and your level of awareness and the work that you've done. But it's like there's always a chance that you could do this overnight before the end of the year, and they don't want to say it's going to happen in 2 years when there's yes, it could happen in 2 years or 3 years or whatever, even 30 years. But it's like they don't want to stop. My team doesn't want to say to you that it's that those time zones, because this can happen overnight. This could happen very quickly. And then when you get that frequency, it's like one thread is pulled, one thing works, which ends up opening the sack for all possibilities to work. So you're not only healing, you're not only moving into a high frequency when it comes to your work, it's also to do with your partnerships, your love life, your your connection to your family. It's like everything works. So they're showing me that as well, and that can happen before the end of the year. And they're not saying an absolute, but they're saying there is absolute possibility, because there's too much shifting happening at the moment for that not to be a possibility for your reality. So it's not something you can grasp. It's something you can you need to release, and you need to know absolutely that you've got this, that you've supported yourself fully, authentically before the end of the year for this to really come into alignment. Is they're showing me a Pleiadian, beautiful Pleiadian being that is, that they're coming to Earth, and then when they're here, that you meet them, and when you meet them, they're not going to be like all victimized and, oh my God, it was a tough travel, oh my God, drama. They're not going to be any of that. They're going to be, we know thyself, we know who we are, and we stay strong in that. No matter who comes up to us, we speak our truth. No matter who we see, we're very, they'll be grounded in that way. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. I'll get I'm just using these new decks as well and see what happens. You're welcome, Wade. At least I hope next week have more time for joining you. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I'll start to open up. I will open up the chat bar for free readings in a minute. What is happening for those that are watching by the end of the year? An unexpected gift will bring you great fortune. Come on, you can't make this up. I just said that. It can be very quick. Unexpected gift will bring you great fortune. I love it when the cards are saying the same thing as what I'm saying. I just want to do one more. So yeah, there's definitely a chance here, and I think they want to focus more on that rather than the doom and gloom and what's happening around the world and all that for those that are watching, because we have a chance to shift our own story, our actual own story at this moment into something really beautiful. And I mean, I pretty much gravitate towards light workers and those that have done a lot of work and have, held codes for eons and that. And they're saying, do it your way. Do it your way. And that's really, that's a definite. This is why they're calling it an authentic truth that powers up and brings you in gifts and aligns you with bliss, you already found the bliss within you, and you're supporting that bliss, and you'll support it in a way of, I know my boundaries and who I let in and who I don't. I can see those standing out now that are throughout the years. Like if they come into your life and they're just annoying, or you just get an icky feeling, you trust it now. And you don't go that way, and you know that there's always going to be somebody else around the corner that's more in line with you. It says you were never meant to fit in. Authentic, right? You were born to be a wild and free force of nature, here to build new and better worlds. Allow yourself to go and do that. And that is such a beautiful card to finish up with this, for this, for those that are watching. This is what you are going to be achieving by the end of the year. You'll literally be opening up portals for your reality to be grounded on this planet, to be able to infiltrate all the others out there. You become the light for others to realize that they don't have to do it hard anymore. It doesn't have to be that difficult. Okay, I will open up the chat bar for free reading if you'd like to have a free reading. I really should have put it up on my Facebook, but never mind for those. Right, let's go for a free reading. Also, I'm going to, usually I do it Thursdays. So, Debbie. Hey, Agatha. Okay, Debbie. Okay. Something might come up for you that is doing your head in. Just be aware of this. Something's coming up, but it's kind of like it's showing me, it's got this card, the guilt card came up for you. It's not very nice, is it? But what they're showing me is like something that you have been thinking about yourself or feeling into what this reality can do for you. And it's been an underlining thing for everything that you've so far brought into your world. And it's kind of kept a cap on you and your authentic truth of who you are. But you haven't noticed it as much as what you will notice it this just coming, because they want you to clear it. So they want you to be aware of something that's doing your head in. It's like a old program. Maybe you're clearing karmic issues from ancestors, or something very old that's been with you this whole life. So you haven't even noticed it as much because it's kind of just an acceptance, but it's not helping you be more fully enlightened or abundant in this reality. Not abundant, it's something to do with enlightenment. I'll pick one more card because it's not a very nice card, is it? But it is a really powerful lesson for you at this moment. I know I'm dealing with such things as well. And it's a decision that you're going to have to make of, I'm no longer going to, I see it now for what it is, and I'm no longer going to entangle in those thoughts. I'm going to shift my thoughts, re-navigate your thoughts into absoluteness, possibilities, self-support, something to do with that. Maybe you've attached yourself to, I am. You know how people attach themselves to a specific name that they call themselves? I am, I don't know, one of those people that clean a lot or what. I'm not saying that you do. What are they called? There's all these names anyway. I probably could rattle off a whole heap of names, but I can't at the moment for some reason. But it's kind of like, you know how people attach themselves to these names, I am autistic or I am whatever, you know, and that's the reason why I am what I am. But it's like getting down to the core essence of that name and understanding that there's a uniqueness that is specifically you, that is more important than the name itself that has been poo-pooed. You're poo-pooing your authenticity because of that, and it's kept you in this kind of mind game. I'm going to leave it at that anyway. So yeah, it's good though, Debbie, because if these are the moments that we need to break through to be able to get to those grand, beautiful gifts that are waiting us before the end of the year if we want. Yeah, I'm not, I still work through shit myself. So yeah, we're all working through shit as well. But there is a definite decision where the shit becomes less, excuse my language, becomes less, 50% less, becomes 30 or 40% of your mind, and you have more, 70%, 80%. And that's when the gifts start to roll in. Okay. Charlotte. Sorry, said that wrong. Charlotte Louise. Charlotte. It's kind of like me saying I'm dyslexic. Yeah, but there's a good thing about being dyslexic too. I'm not really a logical thinker, but I have had to embrace my logicalness to be able to ground stuff. You have to make a business. I just had to persevere through it, even though I was dyslexic. I still wrote books and that sort of thing. There's something there for you, Debbie. Anyway, Charlotte. Charlotte, you have the MasterCard that flipped over and came back into the deck. So that's beautiful. So you're mastering your mind now. You're finally starting to see that beyond the mind is source energy. Beyond the mind is the soul. Beyond the mind is the presence of yourself. Beyond the mind is stillness. Beyond the mind is, and I'm bringing up all this stuff. There's something to do with you starting to realize you becoming the master of your next actions and taking full responsibility for those actions that you choose to create, put out there as well. Yeah. And that means, like, on the bottom of the deck was postponement. So that you were postponing, you're now starting to feel masterful about yourself. And so this will show up. Oh, I keep on putting that off because I'm saying to myself, it's because it's not the right timing, but really it's because of a fear that you had. And then when you become this masterful person, you're like, oh, now I see the trickster of the mind that came in and stopped me from producing the business that I really wanted, producing something that I really wanted to ground in this world. I see it now. So there's masterfulness that's coming in, that's shifting the postponement. You're now seeing the game that was played within yourself to be able to shift forward, to move forward. And so you're no longer putting your life on hold anymore. You are going to move forward in this next phase, especially before the end of the year. Okay, so we also have sagginess. Sagginess. And so apologize if I get anyone's names wrong. Don't mean to be rude. Okay. Sagginess. Okay, I literally thought a bunch of cards flipped up then, but one came out. So that was interesting, because I was like, oh, I won't take all those. And then I looked down and there was just one. I haven't seen it yet. It's face down, but I'm feeling into that. Like there's something that is coming your way that seems maybe a little overwhelming, but when you actually get closer to it, it's actually something you can handle and that you've handled before. Okay, and we have the flowering card. So this beautiful lady is sitting on a lotus leaf. She's open to receiving. So there's something about receiving for you. asking to receive and not feeling like it's going to, if you become more powerful and be able to receive a lot, that it's not going to become too much for you. Because sometimes we do close ourselves off from receiving because we're scared of what that actually looks like. So for instance, one of my biggest fears is when I move forward with this and I get a lot more audience, how am I going to handle the ones that are a pain in the ass? Because I'm very sensitive. I'm an empath. And so I'm very powerful too. So I cap myself. And I'm so aware of this. Something like that. And so it's to do with you becoming more embracing the God essence within you, or the universe within yourself, the source energy within yourself, and going, I will be safe no matter who I become, and the light is better than me sitting in the misery. So sitting on this lotus leaf, she feels very safe. She's supported. The lotus is going to carry her over the emotions, over the water. She's open. She's receiving. Then she can create what she wants. And stepping into that. Because we have to find this sort of support within ourselves and knowing how to handle things before we can receive a lot. Going into a really la land with you. Okay, Monique. You're welcome, Charlotte. God. You're welcome, Sagittarius. Okay. I was just shuffling and a card came up, but I was going to do the next person. So it was, I'm really feeling it was for Monique. Getting caught in. So I'm going to keep that card aside for you, but I will pull another one. So I'm really sure. Oh, I haven't told you yet what it is. Monique. Okay, we have one that's flipped up, and we have maturity card. That was the one that flipped out before I actually said your name. And the card that flipped out while I said your name was going with the flow. So, and feeling like you've got this. Like, this is the best card to get for what you're going into. And I would say, if with this card and going with the flow, you are definitely going to get some sort of rewards coming your way in a physical way, because you can't be in maturity and going with the flow and allowing your life to take